Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie.
Well, welcome everyone to a very special midweek episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast. And we are here because it is a very important week in figure skating. Skate to Milano, or otherwise known by basically everyone else as Chinese Nebelhorn, is going to be happening in a matter of 48 hours, actually probably less than that. Actually much less than that. It's going to be happening in a matter of like 28 hours. And this is the competition where the final Olympic spots are going to be qualified. And before we get into it, we're going to do something very different this time around because, one, this is our first real preview show of the season. So Michelle and I have not revealed our predictions to each other, and we're going to reveal them live and see how much we are in sync. I'm guessing we're not. I think we're in sync, like 70% in sync.
Yeah, I think we'll all have the same top.
Yeah,
top
exactly. Yeah, it's the ones on the bubble that are going to be the most interesting. So we'll do that. But first of all, let me just, for those of you who are new to Olympic qualifying, which I think if you're listening to this, you probably aren't, but I'm going to tell you anyway, just to give you a little bit of a refresher of what has happened and why this is important and what we are doing. So the Olympics, unlike the World Championships, have a cap of the number of skaters who can compete in each discipline. And so for Milano next year, it's going to be 29 men, 29 women, 19 pairs, and 23 dance teams. Don't ask me why they're not 30, 30, 20, and 24. There are reasons for that. And in the past, it's been that they're reserving a spot for the host country in case the host country doesn't qualify a spot. And therefore, if you do that, then you round out the things. But usually they sort of give it back. I don't remember what it used to be. But the point is, we have 29, 29, 19, and 23 that are going to be there. And then on top of that, there's 10 teams, country teams, that qualify for the team event. And in order for you to be eligible to qualify for the team event, a country has to have qualified at least 3 of the disciplines. And then you're in a pool of other countries that have qualified 3 or 4 disciplines, and then results from your skaters, all that kind of stuff add up, and then that's how you end up qualifying or not qualifying into the Olympics as a team. But as of the end of the World Championships, there were only 9 teams out of 10 available spots. There are only 9 countries that had qualified 3 or more disciplines of skaters. So this will also be an interesting one because it means that there are not only countries that are looking for spots, but there are countries that are looking to fulfill that requirement in order to get themselves in the conversation for the team event. So lots of stuff going on. And so lots of stuff. Michelle and I have had lots of conversations about this through the years. And so the World Championships qualified a certain number of those entries. There's a cap to the number of country spots that were qualified at the World Championships. And then there's another opportunity. This happens every single Olympics. There's another opportunity in the fall of the Olympic season where countries who did not qualify a spot, or countries who qualified you know how to talk about this, qualified multiple spots, but didn't have enough entries in the World Championships to automatically qualify, to secure them, can actually qualify those spots. So one example of that is the U.S. in pairs. The U.S. in pairs took 6th and 7th, pretty sure, last year at the World Championships. Therefore, those two add up to 6 plus 7 adds up to 13. And in order for you to qualify 3 spots to the Olympics or to the World Championships, your placement of your top 2 has to be 13 or lower. And so they got the 13, but because there were only 2 American pairs at the World Championships, they only automatically qualified 2 of those 3 spots. And the 3rd spot then has to be qualified here at this competition. You can ask me questions later. We can answer all those kinds of things, but that is as good as I can explain it for now. And so all of that is to say, we have finished all of the World Championship allocations of spots for countries, and now there are 5 men's spots, 5 women's spots, 3 pair spots, and 4 dance spots that are available for these countries that are entered to qualify this week. And each of those countries that are eligible to qualify for a spot in a discipline has 1 entry for that discipline in this competition. So you're not like sending an army of skaters to try to like game the system. You can only send 1, right, for each discipline. And so that's where we are, and that's what's happening this week. And it is going to be battle royale, especially for those like final spots. And the way that you qualify it for your country is it's just literally who finishes in the top 5 in men's and women's, who finishes in the top 3 in pairs, who finishes in the top 4 in dance.
Yeah.
So there is my 5-minute spiel. Okay, Michelle, what else? What did I miss?
I want to clarify that for every country that's competing, when they secure that spot, if they secure it, they're securing it for their country, not for themselves, with the exception of the neutral athletes.
That
the
is
neutral
correct.
athletes secure the spot in their name. So if one of them finishes second in an event and they secure a spot, they have the spot. If they end up getting sick or injured and they withdraw, the spot goes to the next person on the list, not another neutral athlete.
Correct. And the only way that there are also substitutes. The only way that the substitute could be used is if they were substituted before this competition
Correct.
came on. And we'll talk about that also, because there was some drama overnight that was revealed by a Russian news source. Okay, so the stakes are high, very high this week.
Yeah. And everybody's had a long journey to this competition, except for the few Asian skaters there. I mean, they're used to going to like, the German mountains for this competition at Nebelhorn, but this year it's in Beijing, and you're going to fly a long way. I saw that Luna is already there. She got there like yesterday, and she got all of her swag, and she's all checked in, so.
I mean, if I were one of these skaters, I would have gotten there like a week ago to like acclimate. I know. But a lot of these skaters a week ago was at Lombardia Trophy. So that was a thing. So that was what I was going to talk about, was why the skating community is calling this Chinese Nebelhorn. Because over the past 2 decades, this competition was integrated within Nebelhorn Trophy. And so I think the first time that happened was like 2000 or 2004, or sorry, 1999 or 2003, one of those. And it has been Nebelhorn every 4 years. And this year they decided to extract this qualifying piece of it out of Nebelhorn so that it is literally an enclosed, isolated competition only for Olympic qualifying. There will be no other skaters, no other countries that cannot qualify spots for this or extra spots for this competition, or for the Olympics in this competition. So that is why this was taken out as its own separate event. And it is called Skate to Milano, but I won't be calling it Skate to Milano all that much.
Chinese Nebelhorn.
All right, so we've got 4 disciplines that we're going to talk about. And I did a random draw beforehand, so we're gonna start with the women.
Okay, good, because that's where there's a lot of drama happening. So.
And in some ways, this one is a bit of the most predictable because of the kinds of things that the kinds of skaters who are in there, um, but the bubble spot, right, is going to be very, very interesting to see. Okay. Michelle, do you want to give me your 5, or do you want me to give you my 5?
I'll give you my 5s. And then
Okay,
you'll
let's
give me
do it.
like a totally different 5 and I'll be like, "Oh, damn it."
I think
Okay.
we're going to have 4 of the same, and then the
Yep.
5th one will be different.
Luna Hendricks.
Yep.
Anastasia Gubanova.
Yep.
Adelia Petrosian.
Yep.
Victoria Safonova.
Yep.
Josephine Taljagaard.
We have the same 5.
Yeah, jinx.
Yep.
I was really worried about Josephine, seeing the calls she got at Lombardia, but looking at the numbers, I think she'll be okay. We're going to cross our fingers. My bubble skater, 6th place, is Mia Risa Gomez of Norway.
Oh, interesting. That is not my bubble skater.
Mm.
Okay, so our top 5 are the same.
Yeah.
Josephine is going to need to have rotated jumps and no pops. Please, no pops.
I want her to put some edge jumps back in the short program, because I feel like she wants to do flip and lutz because they're more valuable, but the rotation's less consistent.
I know.
Just do a Saukow in there, and
the thing is, her lutz is so nice when it's done well. But she has said in the past that she is actually terrified of that jump.
Do it in the free skate.
I know. She's trying to max out her points. And like, really, if the judges gave her the correct components, it would be much less of an issue, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So the thing that you see here, right? You all heard Michelle just rattle off a bunch of names that you're like, oh, they had to qualify? Yeah, they had to qualify. And so let's start with Hendricks, right? Luna Hendricks had to qualify because she was basically injured all year, and she didn't make it to Worlds. And this is one of those instances where Belgium has the potential for 2 spots. Nina Pinzarone finished in the top 10 last year at Worlds, and so she has qualified automatically 1 spot. But because she was the only one there, that 2nd spot that she earned has to then be qualified at this competition. So Luna Hendricks is here to do that. Her jumps have been looking great in practice. She's given us some videos. I'm sure if she wasn't doing that well, she wouldn't be giving us videos. So
pictures of her blinged out costumes. I can't wait. This is her first competition back from injury.
I know. It's been so long, I feel like.
Yeah. I think she's going to win. We'll see.
Ooh.
That's my pick. It's my bold pick. And then poor Gubanova had a meltdown in the short program at Worlds and missed the free skate, which was just like, what? There were some crazy things like that happened at Worlds this past year. But yeah, so Gubanova is here as well, fighting for a spot for Georgia.
And then the 2 that we talked about, Petrosian and Safonova, they are going in as neutral athlete status because Russia, Petrosian, Belarus, Safonova, and they are the representatives for those 2 countries, but as neutral athletes. So they are literally, as Michelle was saying earlier, qualifying these spots for themselves. No other person, if they qualify these spots, no other person can substitute for them. And there's nothing else you can do. So let's talk about Petrosian.
Yeah, she's had a dramatic week. So you may remember her from, if you ever watch Russian Nationals, especially in the Olympic qualifier. She was a little Spitfire skater with a huge quad loop and just kind of skated out of her skin. She sort of looks like Evgenia Medvedeva a little bit. She doesn't, I think, have quad loop anymore, but I think she has a couple other ones. Although a report came out today that she's been injured over the summer, recovering, and she's probably not going to do any quads here. And I'm guessing no triple axel either, which she also has. And she's competing 2 programs from last season. She doesn't have new material.
And she doesn't need it.
No.
She doesn't need the quads.
No, she's a very good little performer. She's got this Michael Jackson short program that's she just really sells it, and it's appealing. But she's had other drama this week too, in that her designated coach, they're allowed to bring 1 coach assigned to them. They chose Daniil Gleichengauz, who's her choreographer. He was with her in Krasnoyarsk in the camp before coming here, and he found out like 2 days ago that he would not be credentialed for this event, which I feel like great. Like I can't believe that they actually went through with not credentialing him. As you remember, Daniil Gleichengauz was he's a member of a.k.a. Tuberidze's coaching staff, and he was with Kamila Valieva and all the rest of them in Beijing. And, his last time we saw him on this really world stage, I guess, was in association with this athlete who was doping and sobbing. And so I'm not surprised that he wouldn't be accredited, but I'm also kind of surprised that they actually went through with not accrediting him. Do you know what I mean?
But that's also agreed. And I mean, we're also probably surprised that they were surprised that he wasn't accredited.
And
but
he's
also,
upset. He's posting about it, and
yeah. But also, the Russians have been also surprised and confused about why their para team and their dance team was not permitted to enter this competition, and it's all in the rules. And they actually stuck with the rules, right? And I think there was I don't know, who knows? There might be a part of them that were like, maybe we'll sail through this one, but they didn't.
I did see Julien finally admit this week. He said, we're not going to be back in these competitions until the special operation ends. And I was like, oh, so you acknowledge that that's what it is. Anyway, Petrosian, I read that she's got a physio with her and like 2 team officials that were able to travel with her. But then I also saw a report today that her main coach, a.k.a. Tuberidze, is flying to Beijing to be with her, but she is accredited by the Georgian team because she has a Georgian passport. I don't believe she's coaching any of the Georgian skaters that are competing at this event. But I went through the AIN rules and this event announcement, and I didn't see anything that would prevent AIN skaters being coached by a coach accredited with a different federation. So I think that might be okay. I mean, on one hand, you don't want the athlete to be by herself without her coach, but on the other hand,
you also don't want the athlete to be disqualified because they're breaking some kind of rule. So
that too.
That's a thing. So we will see what happens as this story unfolds this week. Safonova has been very much like Petrosian, skating domestically over the past 4 years. If we all remember, the Russian skaters and the Belarusian skaters have been out of competition since March of 2022. And so this is the entire Olympic quad and then some that has happened. And so Safonova, who has been on the scene for quite a while, right, has been skating domestically. Generally looks pretty good in the domestic competitions. And so we'll see how she handles being back in international competition here. Those are the 4 that I think you and I feel are fairly locked in. Taljagaard is definitely one on the bubble. And you mentioned Mia-Risa Gomez of Norway, who I also really like her skating. And she can jump. She's got the jumps, but she's always had some issues in competition with nerves and consistency, as basically kind of that happens with a lot of these skaters. The other 2 that I would add to the list are Stefania Yakovleva from Cyprus. She had a bang up competition at the very beginning of the season and scored like a 180.
Wow.
And if she can do that again, I don't think there's anything Josephine Taljagaard could do to beat that. But that's a big if, right? And then the other one would be Ruyang Zhang of China. She was on juniors last year, and she had a couple of early competitions that looked good. She also has a consistent triple sow, triple toe, which in this environment, if you can put down a couple of triples, you've got a good shot. So it's, this is going to be the name of the game for these bubble skaters is who can be the cleanest, who can be the most consistent, and getting a good start in the short program is going to be super crucial.
Yeah.
So that's the women. I feel like that's like the easiest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Let's move to my drawing ended up having us go to the least number of entries, but the most intriguing set of potentials. Let's go to pairs.
Okay.
Pairs has 3 spots. So
Yeah.
that's one. There are 11 pair teams who are going to be going for these 3 spots, but there's a twist. The Uzbekistan pair has not been around, and there are unconfirmed rumors that they have split, and they have withdrawn from both Grand Prix events.
I heard a hilarious phrasing of it that he had run into the woods, which meant he left skating.
Yeah, these are unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed, totally, allegedly.
Who knows if he actually ran into the woods?
No.
But these are unconfirmed. But that's to say that when Michelle and I in a previous episode talked about the first alternates needing to be ready, this is one. This is absolutely one of those instances, and that's to say the second alternates better also be ready in case anything else happens.
In Vancouver, they got through all the alternates, and there were empty spots, because they went through the whole list. So you never know what can happen.
You never know.
In pairs.
Yeah, especially in pairs. Okay, so I'll go first on this one. I think you and I will agree on 2 of them.
We'll see.
We might agree on all 3 of them. Okay, I've got Nagaoka, Moriguchi. I've got Zhang and Huang. Oh. I've got Akapova and Rachmanin.
Yeah, I've got them.
Those are my 3, and then I have Shin and Naj as the alternate.
I have Nagaoka and Moriguchi of Japan, Akapova and Rachmanin of Armenia, and Valesi Bidar of Czechia as my number 3.
Oh, yes.
And I have Zhang and Huang as my
number
alternate.
4.
And then Shin Naj, I think I put as 5th.
Yeah.
I don't ever discount Bidar. He's a really good pair skater, and he has made it to 2 Olympics with 2 different partners. Why wouldn't he make it to the 3rd? And they made their competitive debut at Lombardia, and it was very strong.
Anna Valesi has Czech citizenship. Do we know?
I don't know that, but I hope she'll get it.
Hopefully she'll get it.
Beautiful lift positions.
She was with Manuel Piazza, I think last year for Italy.
She was at Skate America a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And it was Italy that they represented.
Yeah,
so
she's Italian.
Yeah. So that's a question. That's a question mark for sure. They had a great skate at Lombardia, so they were number 5 for me. So I think we have the same top 5.
Okay.
But 3, 4, and 5, or actually 2, 3, 4, and 5 are switched up for us. I think Zhang and Huang, it's a matter of consistency with them. They had a good early competition at Asian Trophy. That's what I'm going off of. And then, you know what? There's another pair in there. So actually 6 for me. Kovalev. They have Michelle shaking her head. They do have a long history of international experience, and they have scored well before. It's just they have not gotten back to where they were before their injury a couple of years ago. And so
it's been a while. They've been on a downward trajectory.
Yeah. They did have they have a decent French Masters, but we know that French Masters was scored on a domestic, kind of scoring craze, and so they're 178 there. Probably not a 178, but that's I think they're in the hunt, but I don't think they are as high as the other 3.
Even if they don't qualify a spot here, they're almost certainly going to be in Milan competing in the team event.
That's right. Yeah. So that's the one saving grace, I guess, for them. Very similar to who was it? The German guy, Jazzy Wonderwall guy.
I can't remember his name, but I can see him.
I could see him too. Anyway, he was there. He was there by himself as well. He was there for solely the team event as well, because the German men didn't qualify a men's spot in the for Beijing. So I will get his name before the end of this. Okay.
Jazzy Wonderwall guy.
Jazzy Wonderwall guy. Oh my Lord, I cannot. Okay. So that's pairs. Anything else you want to talk about with pairs?
I really want you to be right about the Chinese team, because if they don't qualify a spot, there goes our chances of seeing Sui and Han if they can get it together.
Let's talk about that. Oh, Paul Fence.
There you go. Yeah.
That's who it was. let's talk about that, because that was like a source of a bit of drama at the beginning of the season, because Sui and Han had this whole thing where they announced they were coming back.
They have Grand Prix assignments.
And then they withdrew from their Grand Prix assignments. And then
Did they withdraw? Have they withdrawn?
I just figured that they withdrew. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think they have yet. But there was a rumor that circulated that they were hang on, I have the Grand Prix up. There was a rumor that circulated that he was not able to get back into shape and that they were not going to appear this season. But let's see. HK. Yeah, they're still entered.
Okay, so I was wrong. But I guess it was more that I was assuming. There was more that they were substituted in with Zhang and Huang, where people were like, "Oh, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are actually like really not ready?" And so it wouldn't be the first time that China has sort of made a switcheroo later on. And if these next couple of months does allow them to make a good, strong comeback, then there's still a chance.
Yeah, but if Zhang and Huang don't secure a spot here, I don't know if we're ever going to see Sui and Han again.
Yeah. Actually, let me go back to the women real quickly. I think one thing I wanted to talk about was sort of scoring. And my magic number for scoring for the women is 160. If you can get over 160, you're probably in. At least you have a very good shot. Like most, like the way that the consistency of these skaters, that fifth spot will probably be something in the 160s and above. For the pairs, anything I think 180 and above will get you in. 170s will be a fairly good score for that. 160s will put you in the bubble. I think that's what we got to think about. And Nagaoka Moriguchi got a 192, I think, at Kinoshita.
Yeah.
And they need
do it again. Same thing.
They need to do it again. They could do 90% of that and it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And I love that team so much. They've improved so much as a pair, and they're just so strong as both single skaters. Oh yes,
they fast. Just fly.
Oof. It's wonderful to watch them skate.
Yeah, breathtaking speed is something we don't have quite enough of in pair skating, and they deliver it.
Yeah. All right, that's the pairs. Next on our list is dance.
Yes.
And this is the one, I will admit it, I have the least amount of confidence in my picks. Just because there are so many pairs or so many dance teams who could get onto that top four.
Yeah.
Michelle, let's start with you.
All right. I think Reid Ambrulevicius of Lithuania will win, obviously. I think Harrison Chan of Australia will be second. And then I think the Hungarians, Ignatieva Semko, will be in there. And then Reitan Mayarov of Sweden, I picked.
We got three of the four. Who's your alternate?
And then, well, I feel like the alternates are in a pack. There's like three. And then they, with the Swedes, are probably the ones that'll be in contention for the last spot. And I picked Val Kazimov of Spain as the alternate, and then Yoshida Morita of Japan, and then Susi Sinfiros of Ireland.
Interesting.
Probably.
You don't have Wang and Liu in there at all?
No, because they did one competition back, and it was not very strong, and they were wildly overscored. I have in my list as like they're there, but I really wouldn't put them in there.
Interesting.
I think they would have done a real competition, like a real challenger, if they were serious. I don't. Yeah.
We're fairly aligned on most of them. Reid Ambrulevicius agreed. Harris Chan agreed. I had Val Kazimov third, and then I had Reitan Mayarov fourth.
No Hungarians.
And no Hungarians. I'm basing it on how they did at Lombardia, and they were 159 in Lombardia, and that's not going to get you a spot. If this were last year, I think they would have been different.
They were great at Europeans.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Lombardia could have been a fluke. I wasn't paying 100% attention to how they skated. I was looking more at the protocols. So I guess we'll see.
I believe in the power of Barbara Fusar-Poli. I think she'll get them there.
So this one is also interesting. Very much like the pairs, there's a twist because the Finnish teams finished. I just did that.
Finnish team?
Which Finnish team
first?
Finished? Yeah. The Finnish teams finished. God, finished high enough last year. Placed high enough last year that they earned 2 spots for Finland, and because both of them were there and qualified for the free dance, and Tequila Versuis barely qualified for the free dance because of a mistake that they had. They will have 2 spots, but
secured. Yeah.
But citizenship issues. And Orihar Pirinen, who would get that second spot, Yuka Orihar does not currently have Finnish citizenship, is not even yet a permanent resident.
I don't think so. They're looking for like
Finland.
Alternate methods for her getting citizenship, which doesn't necessarily sound promising.
It doesn't sound promising. They are not giving up yet, so they have not given up the spot, nor have they given up the potential chase for citizenship. So that's where we are there. So yeah, so first alternate spot, you better be ready.
Be ready.
And again, second alternate spot, you still should be ready.
And the Japanese team is going to need to be ready whether they qualify or not, because they are definitely doing the team event.
Right. They are the best Japanese dance team right now.
Yeah, you could get an Olympic gold medal this year. We'll see.
I know.
Hang on there for dear life.
We'll talk more about that later. Okay. So, I think I do think that Reed and Amberlevicius, the reason they are here, they should have been a solid top 10 at Worlds last year. The reason they are here is because
Allison tripped in their circle steps in
their midline step.
Yeah, the rhythm dance, and they bumped the number 1 Finnish team into the free dance with that.
Yep.
Both teams had very random footwork mistakes.
It was so crazy. I mean, I remember being at Worlds and just everybody was just like in shock.
Yeah, like what's happening?
Like not just the fact that they fell, but that they didn't score enough to get into the free dance. Yeah. And at first it was Julia Matthias, and then it was Allison and Saul, and it was like what's happening here?
It's hard to believe. Yeah.
Both of those teams have been
European
so solid.
medalists. Yeah,
exactly. This should be a cakewalk for them, and even if they make mistakes, they will get a spot. Like there's no way they're not going to get a spot here.
Yeah.
Harrison Chan, I think they were the ones who were just off the spots.
Yeah,
right?
they were like the last place
19th.
finishers, and so
they were 19th.
the last spot that they didn't get it. It was frustrating for them.
Anyway, it was so heartbreaking because it was like everybody got a spot who qualified into the free dance except for them, and they had to be ready early and come back, and they should have no problem getting a spot here.
Yeah, they went to Nebelhorn in 2021 and were not able to qualify a spot for Beijing, so it'll be some redemption here if they can do it.
Absolutely.
I am a little salty that they chose Jennifer Lopez as their 90s music and not Kylie Minogue. They're only representing Australia.
Yeah, that is true. Can't Get You Out of My Head was early 2000s.
Oh, no, that's 2000s. No, they need to do like Better the Devil You Know, Confide in Me, Hand on My Heart.
Okay, I had no idea you were such a Kylie fan.
I'm a crazy one, yeah.
Okay. I talk about Kylie Minogue. Okay, this is a complete aside. I talk about Kylie Minogue like she comes back every 2 decades, right? Like 80s, she had
Locomotion. Such an American perspective.
Totally.
She is
because
ubiquitous.
That's how I learned about her, right? Locomotion in the 80s, Can't Get You Out of My Head, and like a bunch of other stuff in the 2000s, and then she disappeared for a bit, and then now she's back, right?
She disappeared. She's having number 1 albums everywhere else in the world, but here where we don't have taste.
Disappeared from my playlist.
And it's funny because you travel a lot more than I do. You have many more opportunities to be exposed to Kylie in the wider world.
Yeah, except I just listen to my own music. Okay, let's get back to figure skating.
Okay.
So for me, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 teams that are fighting for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spots.
Yeah, I say 7, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 3rd, 4th, and 5th spots.
I think
4 teams. Yeah.
You had 4 teams.
4,
yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, that's the battle. That
Yeah.
is the dance. For me, 180 plus will get you a top 4 spot for sure. 170s is probably where you're going to see it. I mean, that 4th and 5th spot, they're going to be getting it by like a point, 2 points. Like it is going to be so close, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
got to be
I'm
clean.
Yeah, and it's like I'm reluctant to say have hope if you're the alternate. Like be ready, but don't necessarily have too much hope because we had this happen last Olympic cycle where the Lithuanian team didn't have citizenship, and we thought, oh, they'll give their spot back. But Lithuania had a younger team that
Yep.
they weren't that competitive, but they came to the
They were
event.
there.
Yeah.
They were there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right. Want to get to your
yeah.
favorite discipline?
Let's go to the men, where menning will probably happen.
Yeah, and I think our lists are going to men the most of any discipline here.
All right. I guess I'll start.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're both going to agree on Gumenik, Peter Gumenik. And then the rest of the 4 plus alternates for me, Francois Pitot, Kirilo Marsak, Georgy Reshchenko.
Yes.
Donovan Carrillo. And I think this is more of a sentimental favorite pick for me, David Luitenbrain.
No. I mean, I'd love for him too, but like, no, he's not even on my list anywhere.
I know.
Hyungyeong Kim, South Korea.
Oh, wait. Did I? Oh, I left out Kyungyeong Kim. So no, so never mind. I need to put him back in the list because yes, agreed with you on that one. Agreed.
In that case, I think we have the same list. Gumenik, Pitot, Carrillo, Kim, Reshchenko.
I have Marsak.
Marsak.
I would put Marsak over Carrillo.
Do you have 6?
That would be that. Well, so yeah, that would be my 6. Correct.
Okay. My 6th is Yu Xiang Lee of Taipei.
Oh.
And then I
like
have Marsak. And then I have
him.
Tamir Cooperman from Israel. Mini Yagudin from earlier this season. Yeah.
It's just
but this can be wild.
Oh,
but
it's going to be so
Yeah.
No doubt. I think this is going to be very wild. And everybody's going to know that they have a shot. And it's going to be like 10 guys who have the potential. I mean, like we're not even talking about like Genrik Gartung, who has a quad Lutz, right? And has been on the junior scene. He's just not terribly consistent. We're not talking about Edward Appleby, who, if he skates very cleanly, is up there.
I don't think he is.
Okay.
But, he'll be in the team event.
He'll be in the team event. And then for me, David Luitenbrain.
Yeah. You know what? Watching David's short program at French Masters, I thought, he could get in there. Yeah. If he does a short program like that and then a halfway decent free skate and the men, I could see it happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The triple axel has to be there for him, though. That is absolutely important.
Yeah.
Kirilo Marsak, I was very impressed with how he skated last week at Lombardia. A 220 at that competition, that gets him in one of those spots. Like for me, it's 210s are what you would be probably looking at for a top 5.
I also thought about Alexander Vlasenko of Hungary. He trains with Yulia Sebastian. I thought he might have a good day and could get in there.
There's just so many of these guys who, if they put it together, they can. I mean, they're really evenly matched. I mean, like Donovan Carrillo can go anywhere from 180 points to 240 points. Like you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to show up. Hyungyeong Kim, can be up there. I think he's fairly. I wouldn't call him a lock, but I would put him up there as a fairly strong contender.
Yeah, I think it was 4 continents last year. Yu Xiang Lee had a really good skate there, and I just thought, I remember we interviewed him at Worlds because I thought he's a really good shot. I think if he pulls it out, it could be.
I mean, it'd be
awesome.
Historic for Taipei.
Yeah.
For Taiwan, and so that's a thing. He's also just like I remember last year at Worlds, he was really trying to go for that quad toe, and it was always under, but he was going for it and going for it and going for it, and like he's a gunner, and he wants to get there. So yeah, another dark horse. I mean, there's so many dark horses in this field, and I'm kind of like, don't be surprised if none of these people that we talked about, or one of these people we didn't talk about, end up kind of getting there.
And there's no thresholds to qualify for the free skate. Everyone makes the free skate, so these events are going to be really long, and you just need to throw down.
This is Michelle and I were talking about this. This is the potential for for it being like a Four Continents or Europeans, because we're going to be up in the middle of the night to watch 25 short programs and 25 free skates. I mean, I will be.
I'll definitely catch the last group, but we'll see. Hopefully they're going to use world standings here to calculate start times for the short programs. That's just,
we'll see.
So I can wake up and watch the AIN skaters and then go to sleep, and then I'll wake up for the last group of women.
We'll see soon. So I'm looking at the team event right now. And what's interesting is Spain, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Kazakhstan, Switzerland. Those are the 6 countries that have qualified 2 spots. So Spain.
And I just mentioned Great Britain. They're not on that list. Applebee's not doing the team event. He needs
No. Great Britain has qualified 3, so they're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're fine. So let me step back here. There are 3 countries that have qualified in all 4 disciplines: Canada, Italy, U.S. There are 6 countries that have qualified for 3 disciplines: France, Great Britain, Georgia, Japan, Korea, Poland. And then there are 6 countries that have qualified 2 spots, and that was what I was just talking about: Spain, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Kazakhstan, Switzerland. Kazakhstan is already out of the picture because I don't think there's any way that they will be able to do that. Is that true?
I think Switzerland might be out of the
Switzerland, I think. Yeah, Switzerland's out of the picture too, I think. Because their pair team split.
Yeah.
Right? We love doing this on the spot for you all.
Yeah. They did. You're right. So they are out. They are out of it.
Yeah, because Switzerland only has they have the 2 single skaters who qualified, right? And then there's no pair and no dance team. So there's no getting in.
Yeah, they're not even sending one to this competition in either discipline.
Right. Correct. Because they don't have. I don't think they have any in the senior event.
I was really intrigued that Georgia didn't find like another pair team to send to this. They did scrape together a dance team, and they are competing. I don't really know if they'll be in the mix, but
well, they'll be at the Olympics either way, because they've qualified 3 disciplines. But Spain will not have a women's entry, and it does not have a pairs entry, so no Spain. Estonia, no Estonia. So I mean, at the end of all this, we could still be left with 9 teams that are eligible for the 10 slots.
I'm intrigued to see whether or not, though, they really stick to that and say, oh, you didn't qualify, so we're only going to have 9 teams. Because in Beijing, they made some accommodations, and they said you have to have an entry in like each discipline, or at least 3 disciplines. And then we had COVID withdrawals, and they just let people skate. But they were there, so we'll see. I think it's, in the interest of the Olympics, we want to have a full, coterie of teams. We'll see.
I mean, what's interesting is if your and my predictions come true, Sweden gets into the mix.
That makes sense.
Because Sweden's qualified for the men with Andreas Nordeback. If they qualify women, if they qualify dance, they get into that list.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then there's China, who could have a pair and a woman in there. So there are a lot of permutations of this that could happen.
I thought it was interesting that Sweden isn't sending a pair team
The
to
Crawfords.
this qualifier. Yeah, the Crawfords aren't here.
That is interesting. You're right.
They may get to do the team event then. We'll see.
Right, exactly. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But I mean, they have more of a potential than I think any of the others. Looking at Finland, Germany is probably, Genrik Gartung's got to have to skate his butt off to get in. Kazakhstan, there is no pair.
Yeah.
Is that true? Yeah, Kazakhstan, there's no pair and there's no dance team, right?
No.
God, my brain. What is my brain doing?
No, I was thinking about, because I've been working on historic ice dance stuff. There was a Kazakh dance team in the mid-'90s that were coached by Natalia Dubova. And I was like, whoa, Kazakhstan dance. They were good. Yeah, they don't have a dance team. Oh, they do have a dance team entered. They're not going to.
They do have a dance team entered. That's what it is. Okay, got it. Yep. So there is a chance, but it's a very, very long shot.
Yeah.
Norizova and Dostiev. Yes, that's right. Okay. Well, enough of us nerding out over all of this stuff because we could continue talking and rambling about the rest of this. But there's so much exciting competition to come this week. And it is, all these skaters are going to be trying to skate their hearts out. And really the first competition of the season where so much is at stake. And some of us will be up, but we will all be paying attention at some point during this weekend. And don't be surprised if there are some more live shows coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Reactions.
I know. Given how close some of these competitions are going to be, there will be dramatic reactions. I guarantee you. Michelle, what else is on your mind?
Well, I do remember one detail I forgot to include when I was talking about Adelia Petrosian. The article talking about her injury also described how the federation was seriously considering sending their alternate, Alina Gorbacheva, and her coach was like really lobbying for that. But ultimately, they're sticking with Petrosian, Team Tuperidze. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Well, we are almost ready for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of skating. So get ready, get some coffee ready. If you are in Europe or Asia, I'm very excited for you.
We envy you.
We envy you. But you know what? This is how I'm going to be training for the Olympics this year. So that's this is part of my training.
Is this going to be on like primetime TV in Japan?
I bet it is.
Probably.
I mean,
at least the dance event. Yeah.
And a pairs event.
Yeah, on the pairs. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle, for another great session of nerding out.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, and happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of rockerskating.com. Thank you to Tara Nichols for producing us and making us sound great, hopefully. And we will talk to you very soon because it is Wednesday and our live show is in 4 days. And there's going to be a lot of action happening in the next few days at Skate to Milano /Chinese Nebelhorn. Bye.
Bye.